This video didn't find you by accident. It showed up in your field, in your feed, at this particular moment, because you've arrived at the final phase of your alignment. This isn't just an algorithm at work. It's a quiet quantum nudge. Its appearance is a meaningful moment, a subtle marker in your timeline, suggesting that you're ready. Even the title, appearing right as everything begins to align, isn't meant as clickbait. It's simply reflecting an energetic truth. You've been sending a question out into the quantum field, and this is its echo, a gentle answer delivered in the language of your current reality. This isn't wishful thinking. It isn't a platitude. It is based on a principle of physics. Phase locking. Imagine two singers in a vast hall, each trying to reach the same powerful note. At first, their voices are separate, slightly out of sync, creating a chaotic sound. But as they listen to each other, as their intention to harmonize deepens, their sound waves begin to align. They enter a state of constructive interference. Then a single coherent note emerges, filling the room with a resonance so powerful, it feels as though the very air has solidified. That is phase locking. It is the law that says two separate vibrational patterns, held in proximity with a clear intention, naturally merge into one unstoppable state. Your consciousness and your desired reality have been those two singers, and now you are approaching that note. In this session, I will guide you to understand both the scientific and energetic proof that your work is complete. You will learn to notice the subtle, sometimes counterintuitive signs that your breakthrough is not just near, it is imminent. Most importantly, you will receive the final protocol to allow its physical arrival. Rather than chase it, we are going to shift the focus from struggle to surrender. The science of resonance is absolute. Any system, whether a crystal, a violin string, or your own bioenergetic field, when fed consistent energy, reaches a saturation point. At this threshold, it naturally begins broadcasting a new, powerful, stable frequency. Every meditation, every affirmation, every choice aligned with your future self, every moment of holding faith, when logic suggested giving up, these were pulses of energy, charging the system. You were filling it. If you sense this video arrived for you at the perfect moment, consider it your first acknowledgement of alignment. I know you have reached this point because I recognize that exquisite tension, the spiritual fatigue, the frustration of being so close. You can almost taste your new reality. You feel its warmth, the sunlight of that new day on your skin. Yet around you, the world may seem unchanged. This tension is unique, isolating even. It is the moment of checking the morning reality, holding your breath. Hopping today is the day everything shifts, only to feel that familiar drop in your stomach. Or perhaps it's the flicker of doubt after a profoundly good meditation. You feel aligned and powerful, then check your email or see a bill and the vibration evaporates like mist. And maybe the sting of seeing others achieve effortlessly what you desire cuts even deeper. Not envy, but a deep cosmic questioning. I've done the work. I've followed the path. Why them and not me? That feeling is not a sign of failure. Let that sink in. It is the primary symptom of imminent alignment. It is the tension in the string before it resonates the perfect note. It is the pressure in the earth before a diamond forms. The weariness you feel is not because your efforts have been in vain. It is because they have been successful. You have poured so much energy into this that you are full, saturated with the work of becoming. Imagine at your core a perfect, clear crystal. For years, perhaps your entire life, you have been charging it. Every intention was a photon of light, every act of love over fear, every tear shed in deep moments of release, every book, every lesson, every inner journey, all were energy absorbed into this crystalline structure. For a long time, this process was invisible, with no outward sign of change. Yet within, at a level beyond your senses, profound densification was occurring. The crystal has now reached saturation. It cannot absorb any more energy. It has reached a critical mass. It must begin to radiate. It must project its coherent, powerful frequency so fully that the physical world begins to reorganize around it. By the end of this session, you will come to see this not as a hopeful idea, but as a tangible energetic reality. You will move from anxious waiting to the profound peace of witnessing. The identity of the seeker dissolves because you have already arrived. The identity of the builder fades because the house is complete. You will emerge with the deep, unshakable certainty that your new reality is already present energetically, and your only remaining role is to allow its shadow to manifest physically. Then the water reaches 99 degrees. This is the most delicate, uncomfortable state. It is restless, simmering. Tiny bubbles of the new reality begin to emerge but collapse back into the old. It feels unstable, volatile, and deeply frustrating. At 99 degrees, the water is neither calm liquid nor liberated steam. It exists between two worlds. This is where you are. This is why this video found you. You are at 99 degrees. You can feel the warmth. You can sense the potential. You are simmering with a reality that has not yet fully formed, and it can feel exhausting. The final degree is not about adding more heat. The work of warming the water is already done. This last degree is simply the tipping point where the natural laws take over. At 100 degrees, the water has no choice. It cannot remain as it is. It has absorbed all the energy it can hold in its current state. Transformation is inevitable. It undergoes a phase transition into steam, a new form with new properties existing in a higher energetic state. This transformation is not a reward. It is a natural consequence of physics. This state of saturation and readiness, being at 99 degrees and poised for transformation, is what we call the final frequency lock. This is not a mindset. It is not a feeling you must fight to hold or a vibration you must struggle to sustain. The final frequency lock is a state of irreversible energetic coherence. It is a fact established in the quantum field. Your energy signature has reached such density, such critical mass with your desired reality that the two have phase locked. They are now a single, unified signal. This lock has three key qualities. First, inevitability. Once the lock is engaged, your manifestation is no longer a probability. It is inevitable. Like an object released from your hand, it must fall. The outcome is already written into the physics of your new energetic state. Second, stability. This is not a fragile or fleeting state you can easily lose. The immense energy you invested has created a powerful energetic field. The final frequency lock becomes your new center of gravity. It is now easier to remain in this new state than to return to the old. It is your default. Third, effortlessness. The lock itself does the work. Its coherent signal naturally reorders reality around you. Your job is no longer to generate the frequency. Your only responsibility is to stop introducing interference. You've spent years building a powerful tower. Now it simply needs to transmit without fiddling with the dials. This is why the methods that got you to 99 degrees will no longer serve you. In fact, they can become counterproductive. Trying to apply old strategies now is like trying to push a river. It only creates resistance. There are three common ways we interfere with the signal. First, forcing. You try to add more energy, more affirmations, harder visualization, believing one final push will do the trick. But the water is already at 100 degrees. Adding more heat doesn't make it more boiled. It creates chaotic turbulence and delays the smooth transition. Forcing introduces desperate frequencies into a system that has already achieved coherence, slowing the arrival of your manifestation. Second, obsessive checking. Looking for your manifestation in the 3D world, checking emails, accounts, reflections, asks, "Is it here yet?" Each time you do, you are performing a quantum measurement, collapsing the wave of infinite potential back into the particle of the current reality. The universe is ready to deliver, but your attention on the old reality keeps it anchored there. Third, seeking external validation. Asking for signs, tarot, psychics, friends, introduces doubt into the equation. It's like asking the ice cube tray if the water is freezing. Seeking confirmation broadcasts a wavering, incoherent signal. When the final frequency lock requires absolute internal coherence, remember times you forced outcomes only to see them collapse. That energy pattern does not serve the transition. Can you feel the difference between that energy and the resonance we're exploring now? If your manifestation is close, here is the simple guidance. Shift from action to allowance. This is divine alignment made simple. The old paradigm was about building, striving, climbing, and charging. That phase was necessary, it was honorable, and now its work is complete. You have reached the summit. The new paradigm is about receiving. It is about witnessing. It is about allowing. It is a complete reversal of approach. Your role has shifted from being the generator of energy to the guardian of coherence. It's not about adding more. It's about not subtracting from the perfection that has already been achieved. You are no longer pushing a boulder uphill. You have already done that demanding work, carried it to the very crest of the hill. Now, the new paradigm is not about one final heroic shove. It is about taking a deep breath, stepping aside, and letting it roll naturally, effortlessly, with unstoppable momentum right to your feet. You have spent years rowing your boat against a strong current, your muscles burning, your spirit weary. Now you have reached the estuary where the great river meets the ocean. The new approach is not about rowing harder. It is about putting down the oars, raising the sail, and allowing the vast, powerful currents of the universe to carry you gently and effortlessly to the destination that has been waiting for you all along. This is not passivity. It is the highest form of trust. It is the ultimate expression of power. It is the shift from maker to master. For so long, you have asked one question: what is the final thing I must do? You have searched for the missing technique, the one last secret, the final energetic key that will unlock everything. Our reality has trained us to believe that every great achievement requires one last heroic effort, one final push across the finish line. We see it in movies, read it in books. The exhausted hero gives everything in a climactic moment that wins the day. So now, at the threshold of your new reality, you might feel the pull to perform some great act of will. And yet, this is the greatest misunderstanding of quantum creation. It is the final veil between you and everything you have worked for. The paradox is this: the final action you must take is the cessation of all action. The alignment you have been striving for is not achieved through force but through radical surrender. The final frequency lock, the irreversible state of energetic coherence, does not happen when you push harder. It happens the moment you stop trying to create it. It clicks into place the instant you let go. This is not just a poetic idea. It is a description of physics. As long as you are trying, you are introducing the frequency of effort and lack into your field. You are stirring water that is ready to crystallize perfectly. The moment you release the need to control, the moment you surrender to the work you have already done, the chaotic energy softens. In that quiet, pristine space, your dominant, saturated frequency takes over, and the lock becomes an undeniable fact. This changes everything. Let the implications settle in, for this is the great liberation. First, it means all your past work was not in vain. It was successful. Every meditation, affirmation, difficult choice, tear shed, and every moment you held faith when logic suggested giving up, each was a deposit of energy into the resonating crystal of your being. You were not failing. You were charging. You were building energetic potential and reaching a critical saturation point. The work is not ahead of you. It is already complete. You have done what was required. The final step may not be a step at all. It may simply be a release. What old struggle could you let go of right now, knowing the work is already done? Second, it means your desired reality is no longer something you must pull toward you. It is an energetic inevitability. Your role now is simply to allow it to arrive. Think of it this way. All the work you've done has created a powerful energetic vortex, a kind of gravitational center within the quantum field. Your new reality, which already exists as a potential, is now naturally being drawn toward that center. It isn't a matter of if it will appear in your physical experience, but simply when. You're no longer pulling it toward you through resistance. You have become the center of gravity, and your reality is moving toward you by the very laws that govern energy. Third, this means any moments of anxiety, impatience, or doubt are not signs that you are failing. They are simply the last static of an old frequency fading out. It is the final, powerless echo of a reality that is no longer supported by your energy. When a great ship changes direction, the wake of its old path continues for a short time. That turbulence doesn't mean the ship turned the wrong way. It's proof that a powerful shift has already been made. So when you feel that flicker of old fear, don't take it as a warning. See it for what it is, the ghost of a timeline you no longer inhabit. And because of all this, it means you can finally rest. The battle is over. The striving is complete. You can set down the heavy burden of trying to manage the universe. You are no longer the project manager of your manifestation, anxiously tracking each detail or step. The universe is the master logistician. Your role has changed. You've done the energetic work. Now the quantum field is orchestrating the physical rearrangements. Your only task is to step out of the way and allow what you've called forth to arrive. You can breathe, truly breathe. This shift requires a whole new way of being. You are moving out of effortful creation and into what we can call active receiving. This is not passive waiting. It's not giving up or checking out. Passivity carries the vibration of doubt. Active receiving is a calm, alert readiness. It is the energy of standing on a train platform knowing your train is next. You're not running down the tracks trying to chase it. You're not checking the schedule every few seconds. You already have your ticket. You know exactly where you're going. You simply remain present, aware, and ready to step on board as soon as the doors open in front of you. It is a state of deep trust, not trust in hope, but trust in the physics of a process that is already complete. And this new approach comes from the most profound shift of all, a change in your identity. Throughout your journey, you may have believed you were a person carrying a resonating crystal, something fragile that must be charged, tended, and protected. But that was never the ultimate truth. You are not someone who has a crystal. You are the resonating crystal. The separation was part of the illusion that helped you grow. Now that you've reached this moment, that illusion dissolves. You are not a seeker scanning the horizon for a signal. You are the broadcaster. You are the tower emitting a steady, coherent frequency, and the universe is simply tuning itself to match your transmission. You are not a builder anxiously trying to place the final brick on a home you've been constructing. You are the resident, key in hand, walking into a home already completed by the architect of the cosmos. You are not a striver, a chaser, or a maker. You are a receiver. You are a witness. You are the living, breathing frequency of the reality that is arriving. So now, let's talk about the real signs that your manifestation is close. They are not what most expect. This frequency lock isn't silent. It has a signature, a resonance that begins rippling outward from the quantum field into your physical world. The universe leaves clues, evidence that your new reality is being assembled, that the energetic blueprint is being printed onto the fabric of space and time. But these clues are often misunderstood, because they don't fit the logic of the old effort-based paradigm. I'm going to share the 3 most profound and counterintuitive signs that your alignment is complete, that the final frequency lock is engaged. Learning to read these signs will move you from simply understanding with your mind to truly feeling it in your body, a deep and unshakable knowing. You will stop searching for proof because you'll realize you are already surrounded by it. The first sign is the shedding of the old. Just before your new reality arrives, you may notice what seems like loss. A job you held onto may come to an unexpected end. A friendship that once shaped your life may gently fade. An old habit, interest, or identity you once clung to may simply lose its hold and disappear. From the outside, it might feel like things are unraveling. Your ego may scream that you're moving backward, but this is a misunderstanding of the energetic physics at play. Your final frequency lock means you are now broadcasting a stable, high-coherence signal. By the laws of resonance, anything that no longer matches this frequency simply cannot remain in your orbit. It isn't being taken from you, it is being naturally repelled by the strength of your new energy. The universe isn't punishing you, it is clearing space. It is removing the old furniture to make room for the architecture of your new reality. Imagine a woman who has been building her self-worth for years, dreaming of starting her own consulting business, but still holding onto a draining corporate job. She has charged her resonating crystal with the energy of freedom, sovereignty, and impact. The crystal is now saturated. One Monday morning, she's told her position has been eliminated. Panic arises. Fear grips her. How will I pay my bills? My manifestation failed. But this is the old logic. The new physics reveals the truth. Her new frequency of sovereignty could no longer coexist with the subservience demanded by her old job. The dissonance had to resolve. The old reality shattered to make room for the new. She didn't lose a job, she shed a cage. And in the quiet that follows, the universe now has the space to deliver clients, opportunities, and resources perfectly aligned with her powerful new signal. A week later, a former colleague calls with a project larger than her entire annual salary. This is not loss, it is energetic exfoliation, a sign of profound success. The second sign, often the most subtle, is the arrival of profound stillness, a quiet that can feel almost like divine boredom. You've been striving, pushing, affirming, visualizing, running your spiritual marathon with intense highs and crushing lows. And then one day the urgency softens. The desperation fades into peaceful expectation. There's no more anxiety. Things may even feel flat, neutral, or a little boring. This is not disconnection. It is arrival. It is the eye of the hurricane. The war is over. The struggle has ended because the outcome is no longer in question. You have reached such complete energetic coherence with your desire that there is no friction, no resistance left to push against. The drama was always a symptom of the tension between where you were and where you wanted to be. Its absence is a clear signal that the dissonance has collapsed. Imagine a warrior who trained their entire life for a single great battle. The days leading up are filled with adrenaline, fear, and strategy. The battle itself is chaotic and intense. Then it is won. The days that follow are quiet. The armor is set aside. There are no enemies left to fight. The warrior may feel a strange emptiness, a what now sensation. But this is the purpose fulfilled. This divine boredom is your nervous system recalibrating to a reality of peace, a reality where the fight is complete. You've run the marathon and now you've crossed the finish line. You are not meant to keep sprinting. You are meant to catch your breath now and receive your medal. This quiet, this gentle neutrality, is the feeling of your desire becoming a settled reality in the quantum field. It's already done. If you're feeling this calm certainty, this sense that the struggle has ended, anchor it right now. In the comments, declare, I am aligned to anchor this truth in the physical. Let's create a wave of confirmation for everyone here. I want to witness your declaration. The third sign is the appearance of whispering synchronicities. In the early stages of manifestation, we often look for loud, dramatic signs, a bold symbol, a perfect message on a billboard, something cinematic. But when the final frequency lock is active, the signs become softer, more intimate, almost tender. They come as whispers. You'll begin noticing small repeating patterns. The same numbers on clocks, receipts, or license plates. 1111, 444, 222. You'll hear an unusual word in a podcast, then see it in a book, and then overhear it from a stranger. You'll think of someone you haven't spoken to in years, and moments later their favorite song plays on the radio. These signs are not puzzles to solve. Don't get lost trying to decode them or assign them tasks. Their message is the pattern itself. They aren't directions. They are confirmations. They are the universe offering you a gentle nod, saying, "I hear you, your signal is clear, the delivery is underway, stay with it." These whispering synchronicities are the first ripples of your new reality, touching the edges of your current one. They're evidence that the two worlds are beginning to overlap, that the blueprint of your desire is starting to imprint itself on your physical timeline. When your frequency is locked, you become a stabilizing force in the quantum field. Random events begin to organize themselves around your intention. Seeing these patterns is like noticing the first snowflakes drifting through the air. They don't tell you exactly when the snowfall will begin, but they make it unmistakable that a change in the atmosphere is already here, and that the rest is inevitable. They are the universe's quiet way of saying, "We're connected, the line is clear, keep trusting." These moments are not random. They are the echoes of a future that already exists in the quantum field. Your job is not to chase them or force meaning onto them. Your job is simply to notice them and to say thank you. To help you integrate this, here is a simple framework. Notice, feel, know. When a sign appears, you will know exactly how to respond. Notice the sign. Feel the sensation it brings. Know the truth behind it. When a job ends or a friendship fades, notice the space it opens. Feel that quiet room inside your life and know the truth. The universe is clearing the way. When you feel calm, steady, or even a little bored, notice the stillness. Feel the release in your body and know the truth. The struggle is finished. You've already crossed the threshold. When a whispering synchronicity shows up, like the number 70,777, repeating 3 times in an hour, notice the familiar nudge. Feel that small smile in your chest and know the truth. The universe is affirming your signal. Notice, feel, know. This is not a mental technique. It's an embodied practice. This is how you move from simply hopping your manifestation is real to living in a calm, steady conviction that your new reality is already here, arriving through your quantum manifestation hub in real time. You've already seen the subtle signs in your life, the quiet, unexpected shifts that show reality is beginning to rearrange itself around you. Now it's time to move from simply knowing to gently being. It's time to feel this final frequency lock as something real in your body, calm and steady. Let's begin. Find a comfortable position where your spine feels naturally aligned and your body can rest. Close your eyes and take one slow, conscious breath, inhaling calm, exhaling the day. Bring your awareness inward toward the quiet space in the center of your being. Not your thoughts, not your mind, but the soft presence that lives in your chest. Begin by acknowledging the crystal within you, a symbol of your pure consciousness. You've been charging it for years. Every book, every meditation, every moment of intention, every difficult tear, every whispered hope, all of it was energy. None of it was wasted. It has all been absorbed into this inner crystalline core. Feel the fullness of that journey. Maybe you notice warmth in your solar plexus, a gentle pressure in your heart, or a grounded weight at the base of your spine. This isn't heaviness, it's potential energy, stored and steady. Take a moment to recognize the incredible work you've done to reach this exact point. You've gathered the fuel. You've reached saturation. You're at 99 degrees. And now comes the most important phase, one that doesn't require effort, only gentle allowing. This is the frequency of surrender, not something you force, but something you remember. Imagine you've been carrying the heaviest bag of your life, filled with expectations, worry, and the need to control outcomes. You've carried it up a long mountain and now you've reached the top. Here, you're free to set it down. Feel that with your body. The strap sliding from your shoulders. The release in your neck and back. The breath that naturally deepens. This soft wave of relief, this is the keynote. It's the frequency of done. The resonance of it is finished. There is nothing you need to chase, no final piece to figure out. You can rest now. The universe is handling what comes next. All that's needed from you is this calm, open state of allowing. Breathe into this feeling of surrender. Let it soothe the parts of you that have been striving, the part that checks for results, the part that worries, the part that compares. Let them all settle. Let them feel safe. It is done. It is done. It is done. And now, something subtle begins to happen. As you hold this gentle frequency of release and trust, it meets the charged crystal within you. The keynote meets the energy. A shift begins quiet, smooth, almost like a soft click into place. This is the lock. A sense of coherence. A peaceful alignment. The old static dissolves, and in its place comes a clear, steady hum. Feel that hum in your chest, a calm vibration of locked-in potential. This is the frequency of your new reality, alive within you. As this resonance becomes your steady state, ask yourself, what one word best describes the energy of your new reality? Abundance, peace, love, freedom, certainty. Let the word find you, hold it gently. This is your signature. Now the final dissolution. You felt the crystal, welcomed the keynote, sensed the lock. But here is the deeper truth. You are not a body holding this broadcast, you are the broadcast. Let the edges of your awareness soften. Feel the boundary between your skin and the air around you gently blur. Your frequency begins to radiate outward, naturally and without effort. You are not sending a signal. You are the signal. You are not reaching for a new reality. You are the source code from which that reality forms. Feel yourself like a quiet, powerful broadcasting tower, steady, clear, inevitable, letting your frequency fill the space around you, simply by being who you are now. This is your final frequency lock. Stay in this state for a moment. Let yourself feel its truth, its steadiness, its peace. And now, very softly, begin bringing your awareness back to your physical body. Notice the chair beneath you, the air touching your skin. When it feels right, you can slowly open your eyes but keep a quiet connection to that broadcast within you. The resonance you felt is not something temporary created through meditation. It is now your natural state. It is who you have become. You've activated the final frequency lock. You are now operating from alignment. This is your new identity. This is your new way of moving through the world. And your role from here is beautifully simple. Don't interfere with the signal you're already broadcasting. The universe is handling the details, the timing, the connections, the pathways. Your only task is to keep your signal clear. That clarity doesn't come from more effort or more techniques. It comes from a new way of being, one based on ease and elegance rather than striving. Here are 3 gentle but powerful tools to help your broadcast remain pure and uninterrupted. Tool 1. The 24-hour reality embargo. For the next 24 hours, starting when this video ends, you'll create a soft, intentional embargo on anything that contradicts your newly anchored frequency. This isn't denial. It's a refined understanding of how energy responds to attention. Where you place your focus, you place your creative power. When you stop feeding the old story with your attention, it naturally fades. You simply unplug it from the energy source it once drew from you. Here's how. Whenever an echo of your old reality appears, a bill, a comment, a wave of lack, an anxious thought. You don't fight it, fix it, or engage it. You just notice it without judgment, like a cloud passing overhead. Then you gently redirect your attention back to the feeling of your broadcast. The hum, the coherence, the quiet peace. This isn't resistance. Resistance fuels the old story. This is graceful indifference, a calm recognition that the old reality no longer matches who you are. For 24 hours, you become the curator of your attention, choosing only what aligns with your new state. Tool 2, the thank you protocol for first contact. As you hold this new frequency, small signs will begin to appear, early indicators of your new reality forming. These may come as small financial surprises, helpful conversations, moments of unexplainable well-being, or subtle synchronicities. These are your first contact points. Your response determines how quickly your new reality stabilizes and expands. The protocol is simple. When you notice even the smallest sign, offer one pure, uncomplicated thought. Thank you. Not analysis. Not questioning. Not searching for more. Just gratitude. This thank you is a signal of receipt, a message to the field that the channel is open and the delivery has been accepted. Gratitude keeps the pathway clear. Tool 3, navigating the quantum echoes. As your old reality dissolves, it may send out echoes, old fears, old patterns, old thoughts. These are not regressions. They are simply memory traces releasing their final bits of energy. They are not evidence that something is wrong. They are the last ripples of a timeline that no longer has creative power. When an echo arises, meet it with calm recognition. Take a breath and say inwardly, I see you, and you are no longer my reality. You don't argue with the echo. You don't identify with it. You simply let it pass like weather moving through the sky. If you don't feed it with belief or fear, it dissolves quickly and cleanly. These 3 tools, the embargo, the thank you protocol, and the navigation of echoes, form your new operating system. But they're not chores. You're not adding workload to your life. You're transitioning from a life of effort to a life of alignment. Your daily practice is beautifully simple. Each morning before you do anything, take 60 seconds. Close your eyes and remember the feeling of your broadcast. Don't try to create a sensation. Just remember the hum, the coherence, the spaciousness you activated. You're not trying to start a fire. You're simply tending a flame that's already burning. This remembering aligns your entire being with what is already true. You arrived here feeling close but uncertain, carrying old effort, old hopes, old patterns of striving. Now you understand the mechanics of your own alignment. You felt its truth move through you. You've received the tools not to force anything, but to honor what's already complete. You have achieved the final frequency lock. Welcome. Welcome to the state of being you've been moving toward for so long. Take a breath. Feel its solidity. This is not a momentary mood. It's the new architecture of your energy, your new home. And this homecoming marks both an ending and a beginning. Because now your coherent broadcast begins interacting with the world around you. Your inner alignment starts influencing the field itself. Imagine every aligned person as a crystal of clear light, each one resonating with its own steady frequency. For a long time, these crystals were isolated, shining alone. But something is shifting. The crystals are beginning to recognize each other. Their frequencies are harmonizing, forming connections. A global network of coherent consciousness is emerging, a crystalline grid of clarity and intention. Your lock-in was never just for you. It is part of this larger rising harmony. It was a node awakening on this global grid. Your quiet signal of peace, of abundance, of love, of wholeness is now part of a collective symphony. You're no longer just coming home to your own new reality. You're helping to anchor a new possibility for the world itself. This is the next horizon. A gentle responsibility and a quiet joy that naturally arises from your alignment. Your inner work has become a form of service, not through effort, but simply through being who you now are. But with this shift comes a new way of moving through life. How do you navigate a world that responds to your inner state? How do you walk through reality when it becomes fluid, alive, and attuned to your frequency? When your aligned signal meets the quantum field, something beautiful happens. The universe begins to communicate with you directly. It speaks in a language of resonance, a language woven into the fabric of space and time. That language is synchronicity. The right person calling at the perfect moment. A book you needed literally appearing in your hands. A number sequence showing up just as you have a meaningful thought. These are not accidents. They're not cute coincidences. They are markers, physical indicators of reality reshaping itself around your broadcast. They are the universe's way of saying, yes, keep going, you're aligned, I'm arranging everything around you. These synchronicities are like gentle lights guiding your path, the difference between stumbling through a dim room and walking through one where each step is softly illuminated right before you take it. They are not puzzles to be solved or signs to chase. Their purpose is simply to reassure you, to let you know you are in conversation with the universe now. Learning to move with this quiet dialogue is the essence of effortless co-creation. That is why our next video is titled Synchronicity Explained, how reality rearranges itself around your new frequency. It's a gentle but important guide for this stage of your alignment. If you feel called to continue, subscribe and turn on notifications, not out of urgency, but because your journey is unfolding in a new way and each step builds on the last. After you understand how synchronicity speaks to you, we'll go even deeper. We'll explore quantum entanglement explained, why your healing affects others. You'll learn how your inner shifts create real energetic ripples, subtle but profound, touching the people in your life, even across great distances. Your path is becoming a light for others. You arrived at this video as someone pushing through the final stretch, maybe feeling tired or even quietly wondering if your efforts were making a difference. Hold compassion for that version of you. That pressure you felt wasn't a setback. It was the final refinement, the moment just before clarity forms. Now you leave with a different presence. More grounded, more aligned, more aware of the reality you're shaping. Move forward not just with hope, but with a gentle confidence. Move forward not searching, but noticing, witnessing the reality that is beginning to reflect you more clearly. You've already started creating the world you've been asking for. Your alignment is not something you're chasing anymore. It's something you're stepping into.